it's not about, oh, look how well we tossed a ball. It's sort of more about what they discover as they're having days where they are more successful or less successful. And that's how I look at really all these activities. It's what you learn in the doing of it, and what I learned about you in the doing of the activity. So I'd like to move on into some kind of language arts types of things. And I love that you guys are really thinking into other subject matters, because I'll bet you guys could think of some other ways to use this game too. This is called May I Go? And I was just with a group of first graders and I played this game yesterday. And you can introduce different parts of speech using the game, vocabulary, and it's a very simple game. I'm going to look at a friend in a circle and I'm going to ask, may I go? It's kind of nice to remind kids how to ask. You know, it's kind of nice to have them go through that formal, what is a polite way to ask a question and then respond appropriately, because they have to do that. So I say, may I go? And you will say, yes, you may go, and then you're going to fill in the blank. And what I would do, like with the first graders, we brainstormed first. Could you give me some words that end in ly that might describe a way you walk? Slowly, quickly, eagerly, clumsily. You know, they would just brainstorm a list. Maybe some feeling words, happily, sadly, angrily, anxiously, you know, whatever that is. And so we've got words here, but they can choose a word or they can just make something up. And so I would say, may I go? Yes, you may go happily. And so what we will do is we'll trade places. You will move in neutral, and I'm going to show you with my body what that word means to me.
And you just walk over there.
And you can stay in neutral. I've had a turn, so I'm going to sit down. And then it's your turn to ask someone in the circle, may I go?
May I go? Yes, you may go secretly.
Very nice. And then you may have a seat, and then you get to ask someone.
May I go?
Yes, you may go sadly. May I go? Yes, you may go stupid. May I go?
Yes, you may go angrily.
Very nice.
May I go?
Yes, you may go
Very nice.
See, may I go?
Yes, you may go skirt.
Ooh. Excellent.
May I go? Yes, you may go heavily.
I don't know. We have to think about it. And you may ask anyone in the circle that you would like to ask.
So where do I go?
You can go anywhere you want. So I try to make it, because the person who's picked last sometimes feels, well, I'm the last one standing, but then I make it, you get to choose anyone and you get to move anywhere. So they kind of go, oh, it's a special thing to be, you know.
May I go?
Yes, you may go sneakily. Very nice. Good job. So this is a game, I played this with kindergarten through probably 4th grade. And I'm going to teach you another game that is similar to this, but I think it's a way to even use a little bit more challenging vocabulary, and this is where we're maybe moving into other curricular areas. So I'm going to write some vocabulary, and this is something I just got, a basic sort of 10th grade vocabulary words, and this game is called In the Manner of the Word. And so what I would do is I would ask a friend to maybe step outside or maybe in that corner, and we're going to take our vocabulary words, and we're going to secretly choose one word to act out, okay? Then our friend will come back in and will ask a series of questions, or actually will ask us to do a series of things. She might say, would you walk around the room in the manner of the word? Would you shake hands with your neighbor in the manner of the word? Would you sing a song or do a dance in the manner of the word? And it's a great exercise because, especially with the older kids, you really have to parse out what's the difference between being quiet and being sneaky? What's the difference between being jealous and being angry? You know what I mean? The sort of like little shadings of understanding, and we end up having a lot of really good conversations as they're going, how do I do that? How do I show that with my body? So, who would like to step out first? Great. If you want to go back there, and I'm going to put the words on the board so
Okay.
you'll see what you have to choose from.
Okay.
Let's pick some tricky ones. Now, these would be our weekly words, or maybe we've been reading a passage, but we've talked about these words, we understand what they mean, and we've looked them up, but when you physicalize it, you're going deeper. You're really having to understand it in a deeper way. All right, so don't peek, neighbor. Okay. Well, then we're going to go through it. Truncated is something that is kind of squished together. Like a truncated version of something is a shortened version. Frantic means that how I was this morning. My son had a sleepover, and I had 5 teenage boys in the house waiting for them to be picked up because I needed to get here, and then ballet lessons. Frantic. Genuflect. If the Pope or the Queen were to walk in, we would all show respect with our body. Insinuate. I always think of the snake and Eve and Adam. You know, I got a good deal for you. I'm going to insinuate myself into this situation, or I'm insinuating something with my words. I'm not coming right out and saying it, but I'm kind of going around the back door. Laconic is sort of like lazy, tired. Obtrusive, I was thinking sort of jewelry. Big, loud, flashy jewelry is very obtrusive. Or if I walk in the classroom and speak very loudly, and there are people trying to take a test, I'm being obtrusive. So, she's closing her eyes. Yeah, that's why I'm showing you this one. It's a different way to play it.
I see, okay.
Don't say them out loud.
Okay.
Okay, now we're all going to stand up, and we're going to spread ourselves out, and when you hear one big clap, it's your cue to come in the room. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, does everybody have your word in your brain? We're going to really think about it.
Do I ask you all as a group?
As a group. So this is the kind of activity where no